janeiro, a XYZ Live realiza o Summer Soul Festival. O festival que tem a música como alma do verão está na sua segunda edição, reunindo grandes nomes da música: Diane Brumfield, Bruno Mars, Rox, Seu Jorge e Florence and the Machine. E é por isso que eu tô aqui no Rio de Janeiro, a convite da XYZ TV, não só para conferir a etapa carioca do festival, mas também para conversar com a Florence Welch, ela que é a voz poderosa à frente de Florence and the Machine. Hi, has it been these days? You've been here in Brazil, in Rio, and been on vacation?
Yeah, it's been amazing. What have we done? We went through the jungle, we climbed to the top of a big rock, and it's like saw the whole of Rio in front of us. We went swimming in the sea. I got knocked over by some pretty big waves. And we ate a lot of amazing food. And I learned how to samba. I wasn't very good at it though.
Is there anything left that you'd like to do that you haven't done yet? Did you have time?
Made it to Christ. We never made it up. No, it was always too hot or too crowded, so I'd still like to do that.
Brazil has definitely come to this circuit of international gigs here, and last year we had like a lot of gigs here in Brazil. Do you have the chance to hear of, I don't know, any bands that your friends or something about the shows here in Brazil? Did they tell you something? Oh, it's good, it's amazing, or it's not? Did you hear something?
Oh, I heard that the audiences here are incredible, and from what I saw last night, it's completely true. Like the fans here are so passionate and really so enthusiastic, and everyone was singing the words, and it's kind of it was our first show in Sao Paulo for Summer Soul Festival, and just the crowd just blew me away. They were incredible, so thank you so much, everyone.
Heard it was amazing last night, right? And the fans were singing along all of your songs and everything. I actually have a couple of questions here of some of your fans. Would you like to see it? Okay.
Florence, hoje vindo para o show, comentando com os meus amigos, a gente não soube definir qual exatamente é o seu estilo. Como você definiria o estilo do seu som?
I think but we are of a generation which is slowly genre, I think, is becoming less and less fixed. Like with the internet and with like iPods and things, you have the capability to flick through a million in one instead of kind of having one thing at one time. And I think maybe the album is a reaction to that, and having grown up with that and creating something that is an album that is a mix of all the influences I have.
Florence, você acha que as ruivas têm um charme a mais e por isso que você é tão comentada no mundo da moda?
If I wasn't a redhead, I'd definitely be jealous of other redheads. That's why I have to be one, because otherwise I'd be really envious of everyone else who had red hair. And I think just with my colouring and it's the kind of the thing it's the colour that suits me best. And I'm not really sure how that fits into the fashion world, but I guess there is a kind of romantic affiliation with redheads.
I think that many girls has like followed your style afterwards, your color, your hair color after.
I definitely see a lot of redheads at the shows.
And do you always try to keep like a close relationship to your fans? Are you the one who tweets on your Twitter? Do you keep your Facebook update status? Is that something that you worry about?
I'm really bad at technology. My Twitter's always breaking on my phone, and I can never get to the internet, and I can never get the internet to work. So I would really like to stay more in touch, but I just slightly out of touch with technology as it is. And whenever I do get messages from fans, they're always really lovely. But I prefer meeting people like I love giving autographs.
Actually, a Facebook fan of ours, that she asked that if you could do anything else in the world besides being a singer-songwriter, what would you do? If you have ever thought about that.
What would I do? Do you know what? I think the whole reason that I throw myself into this is because I know it's what I can do. So I think it's so the reason that why it works for me on stage is because I think the things that make me a good performer are almost the things that make me a really chaotic.
Looking for heaven from the top of me, but why the hell?
After Brazil, you're going back to London, right? And you have like this full agenda of shows and gigs. And do you prepare to that? How do you prepare like physically? Is there something that you do, sports or gym, anything at all?
I think when I go back, I'm going to have to start preparing for tour. Brazil's been so nice. We have just done quite a lot of like lounging. I tried to go up some stairs to the venue the other day, and I was like, uh-oh, I need to get. And everyone here's so fit and tan that I'm like under a towel by the pool with my book. I've been such a bookworm. It's been really nice to read actually. I've been a real for my like we had a little holiday for a week, but I'm really bad. I like if I go on holiday, I'll like look up, see the sights, and be like, oh yes, that's nice. Back to the book.
Which book are you reading right now?
Good, actually. It's by Jeffrey Eugenides. It's called Middlesex. He also wrote The Virgin Suicides, and his next. Well, I really want to read a book of his called The Marriage Plot, which I've heard is really good.
She hid around corners and she hid under beds. She killed it with kisses, and from it she fled.
And how do you participate in the whole process of creation of your shows? Do you put your input on the lighting and on the set list? How do you work?
Yeah, I think lighting is really super important. I'm becoming more and more. I'm realizing more. The staging, I think, is becoming a lot more important. We became on the first record. On the first record, we were influenced a lot by like the pre-Raphaelites and Millet and Waterhouse, and there was very much a kind of almost funeral, floral. But this time we've been quite heavily influenced by a lot of Art Deco themes like Erte and lots of kind of slightly like more modern romantic shapes.
Do you consider yourself a fashion icon? Do you see yourself that way? Not at all.
I really enjoy fashion, and it's such a. I read fashion magazines before I read music magazines, and it's again the imagination of it and the escapism and the romance, and but where I feel lucky is I don't feel that I've had to compromise what I like or what I look like in order to participate in the more high fashion world, and people have kind of accepted me without me having to change, which I feel really, grateful for, and I'm very lucky in that respect.
Have you ever thought about designing your own line of clothes or collaborating with some stylists or something like that?
Maybe. I wouldn't say never. I love clothes, as anyone who knows me will. You should. My suitcase upstairs is hilarious.
Did you buy something in Brazil? Did you buy beachwear? What did you buy here?
We wore what's the late we got? I'm wearing a Brazilian designer on stage tonight.
Oh, really? Tonight?
And I wore her dress last night in Sao Paulo. I wore Carlos Miele last night. Beautiful, orange. It worked really well with stained glass. I'm going to be wearing him for the next two shows.
Good. But there's another designer called Dudu Bertolini. He sent me a gift, threw me a gift to you.
That's amazing! Oh, that's beautiful. I'll definitely wear that. Oh, this is lovely. That'll be perfect for the beach. I have a black turban that will go very well with this. Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, thank you.
It was all standing next to me.
Hi, I'm Florence and you're watching XYZ Live.